Before I live the life of power. Top of the food chain, all the rest is devour. Heard your video drop the month ago and I ain't heard ya. The AP drop, it's murder, 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 murder.
Alright guys, so today's video I'm going to give you my 5 favorite bicep exercises to do, and this is going to be for targeting the bicep completely. Now while these aren't the only exercises you can do, these are the top 5 that I like to do, and I'll typically put 2 to 3 in any program that I do for a client. So starting off, we're going to do the standing barbell curl. I like to use the easy bar, you know, the one that has the humps in it, as people call. That way your hand can contour to the bar itself and you're not just on a straight bar. So for this particular exercise, we're going to get 4 sets with 5 to 8 repetitions. All right, putting my wraps on because I want to keep my wrist safe. And here we go. So we're going to stand up, chest forward, shoulders back, and we're going to curl from the bicep, from the elbow. Biggest thing with this here is we want to make sure that we're not using other muscles to get this weight moving. We also want to make sure that we're not swinging, we're not swaying. And so if you can't do this exercise without swinging and swaying, you can turn this into a strict bar, or sorry, a strict curl, where you put your back against a wall or you're leaning against something so that you don't have any swing or momentum from the hips going on. So when we're up here, chest forward, shoulders back, and we're curling from the elbow, starting with the bicep. All right. Again, 4 sets, 5 to 8 reps for this particular. Let's see, where are we at here? Is my head cut out? No. All right, so next up is the exercise known as the Bayesian curl. So after you get your weight selected, you're gonna make sure that the handles, I don't like to put them at the lowest setting, second to lowest. They don't necessarily have to be at the lowest setting, but you want them down low, all right? All we're gonna do is get our arms behind our body. So how do we do that? We simply just grab the handles and take a decent step forward. Not a huge step forward, but also not a small step forward. So just a regular stride, step forward, plant ourselves. I like to do feet next to each other. You can do one foot in front of the other like this if you want. But me personally, I like to be feet next to each other. All right, from here, palms are going to be up. They're actually going to be facing down, but they'll come up. And we're going to lift our chest, get in our athletic stance. We're not going to be straight-legged, athletic stance. And all we're going to do is wherever my elbow is at, that's where it's going to remain. All right, I'm not trying to do something with my chest here. All I'm doing is flexing at the elbow, curling here. All right, my elbow is standing in a relatively still position. All right, for this exercise, we're going to get another 4 sets, but we're going to do 10 to 12 reps. I think that's 4, 5. This exercise, let's really work or focus on lowering, focus on that eccentric part of the movement, all right? We can explode up, but then after that, we need to worry about lowering this weight slowly. 2 to 3 seconds is good enough, all right? Let me get another angle of this. All right, so again, we're gonna be in front of the cables, chest up, elbow gonna stay relatively in the same spot, and we're curling and we're working on the lowering the eccentric part of this movement, all right? We'll say that's 7, 8, 9, 10. Now the benefit we get from doing this exercise, as I mentioned a second ago, is we get the arm behind the body and we're able to get a full stretch in this bicep. So we get to focus on the stretch portion of training biceps. So make sure we have that arm behind the body and we curl. We don't have to bring the elbow forward. So what are we going to be focusing on then? Some delts, all right? Arm behind the body, elbow relatively in the same spot, curl from that position. Let me share this with you real quick. I now have wrist wraps available. So if you're someone who does a lot of bench pressing, barbell curl, overhead press, or anything where you need stable wrists, these are the wraps for you. Just head over to my website, www.aphealthnutrition.com, and get yourself a pair. All right, back up, we're going to do a across the body hammer curls. Now you can do the hammer curl just straight up and down like this, but we're gonna do ours across the body. Now what this exercise is really targeting is the brachialis muscle. So that little bubble that sits here, this is what's gonna give you the width for your bicep. All right, so we have the bicep where we get the big roundness, but this is gonna give us the width, the wideness of the bicep. So we'll do 2. So we'll step it up to 2. So what we'll do is, again, chest up, shoulders back, and we're staying very rigid here, locking our elbow in place, curling from the elbow, all right? This is going to be another set of 4, and we're going to do 8 to 10 reps per arm. We'll say that's 7, because I keep losing track because I'm talking. All right, switch to the other arm. And again, we can do this if we wanted to. Straight up, but to keep the shoulder a little bit safer, I like to come across the body. 6, 7, and we'll call this 8. All right, next up we have the incline bicep curl. This is going to be another set of 4, 6 to 8 repetitions on this one. If this is me sitting straight up, this is my incline. We're not doing a super steep incline. We're just trying to get the arms behind the body again. That way we get a full stretch in the bicep, and we can initiate with the bicep by flexing the elbow first, all right? So you can do one arm at a time, or you can do them both at the same. I'm going to save a little time doing them together. 2, 3, remember, control that weight on the way down. 4, 5, 6, keep it under control. It's getting heavy. 7, and 8. All right, so last up is going to be these incline cable curls. They're more of a Jefferson style curl on the cable. Kind of a tight space here, so hopefully I stay in view. So all you do is put your cable down at the bottom, not the lowest setting, but maybe the second lowest, whatever will clear the seat portion of the bench. 17.5 pounds, 22 pounds, something like. So what we do is we drag this cable all the way up, and we want to plant our tricep, the back of our arm, onto the bench. And whichever arm I have forward, so I have my right arm holding this cable, I want my right foot forward, all right? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start here, not all the way down on the bench where there's no tension on my bicep, but elevate it just a little bit. My elbow all the way up to my armpit is making contact with the bench, including my triceps. So everything here is making contact. And what we're going to do is we're going to curl up as far as we can go, and we're going to control it on the way down. Now, the benefit from doing this exercise this way on the cable is the entire time the cable is giving us resistance. And what we want to do is fight that resistance the entire way through, all right? We don't want to just explode up and let it down, explode up, let it down, start banging out repetitions. We want to control it on the way up and control it on the way down. Remember, we're fighting gravity along with the angle of these cables. So every little incremental step that we take, there's a different element of gravity that we're fighting and a different element of resistance, all right? This is going to be another set of 4, and we're going to get some higher volume in here with 10 to 12 reps. All right, so this is what it looks like on the backside. We'll get a few reps here, just so you can see that. And that's it, just that simple. And so if you're not comfortable doing it with a cable, you don't have a good cable set up or available to you, you can do this with a dumbbell. All right, and that concludes, that is my top 5 for biceps. Again, those are not the only exercises for biceps. They're not necessarily the best in the world for biceps, but they are the best for me, and I put them in every program that I write for myself and I write for clients. So give them a try, see if they work out for you, tweak them a little bit, scale the repetitions up and down, try something new, see if we can get a little bit of more growth and development and strength out of all of this. Make sure you wear your wrist wraps. Be safe, wear your wrist wraps. Thank you for joining. I'll see you at the next video.
Mr. Pressure, push. We up in focus. We talk. Push.
For coaching, clothing, programs, www.aphealthnutrition.com.
Macmo Music.